We have quite the spider web right now. Closer than ever before.
Closing in.
Now we're gonna start prepping for getting the keel from underneath the boat to attach to the upper original part of the keel. And first up will be to go over the threaded rods.
Yeah, some of them got a bit damaged during the casting.
Since they got stuck and we had to use some force to get them out. It seems like we can use all of them, which is good. We don't have to buy new ones.
Just need to repair some damaged threads. It's time to try to move the keel in place. So we placed these two steel beams here now that we're gonna try to lower the keel down to with some wooden block in between, and then the idea is to, we'll see if this works, but the idea is to try to just slide it or pull it against that beam over there, so we get the keel centered in place.
And the reason for it that it's not centered right now is that it wasn't possible with the crane to lift it in center, because
we got the crane in here. We only managed to get this far, and here it stopped. Then we will start to lift it up with hydraulic jacks. Then we'll see a bit how we proceed, but we have to move it a bit backwards as well, like 20 centimeters. But right now there is this beam here is blocking the tail of the keel, so we have two options. Either we have to take that one away, which we want to try to avoid, so we'll try first to lift it up and then go back in position, and then we'll see if we manage to, because we're gonna have all these threaded rods here, and the problem is that ideally we could just have the threaded rods in and thread them into the keel in this position, but the problem is that the holes that we have in the keel, I mean, they're not straight, and the threaded rods, they point a little bit in all directions. I mean, not that bad, but it's not a straight hole. So as the threaded rod has to be in this hole and be threaded in at the same time, that might be problematic. And so if that's not working, then we have to either cut away the beam or cut the hole in the beam, lower the keel a bit, so that we can have the threaded rods in between the keel, the upper part of the keel and the lower part of the keel, and thread them in, and then lift the lower part up and steer the threaded rods in position, basically. But we'll see how it goes. First we'll center it.
So we're slowly getting there. It's sort of leveled with with the beams. Now we're just gonna have to move it a little more aft.
It's been working out really well, actually, lifting with these chain hoists, but now the center of gravity of the keel is like here-ish, and which means that these two are almost lifting all of the weight, and they're not really specified for that weight. So now we're gonna try to, we don't have anything to attach to here, but we will try to use one of the holes where the threaded rods are gonna go into and just create a lifting eye, so we can get the lifting point a bit more off. Then we can lift and push it backwards. So yeah. We managed to align some of the threaded rods into their holes, but it's very difficult to align all of them So I think we will actually cut away a piece of the beam in the aft, lower the keel so that we can insert the threaded rods in the upper keel fully, and then we're gonna hoist it up and align the rods to the holes in the keel.
Now we have the hole cut up. Now I have to go down again.
Yep. Down.
Yeah. So where are we at?
We
have lowered it again. So that
we cut out a piece of the beam so we can have it in position, so we can thread in the rods without interfering with the holes. But it's quite tight still because the rods are a bit too long, and we could potentially cut them off a bit. But yeah, let's try it, see if it works first.
Yeah.
Okay, all rods in except one that got a bit too damaged during casting. So the idea now is to try to hoist the keel up again, align the rods to the holes. As you can see here, they are quite misaligned, but I hope we'll manage to fix them when hoisting. And then we'll continue to hoist, and the closer we get to the keel, we will see how well everything aligns, if it aligns or not, and then we will see if we need to make any adjustments or not.
We have quite the spider web right now.
Yeah.
And our idea is to take it step by step, add support underneath as we go, and then make sure that the threaded rods are in place. And the keel high enough so that we managed to get one of these steel beams underneath. So now we're just gonna weld them a little bit so we don't accidentally knock them off. We have moved the keel up. We don't have that much left, but while doing that we realized that it's too narrow in some places.
Yeah, I mean we have some the holes are not really in the exact right position basically. So we have some offset that we need to take care of, so we won't get stuck when it gets higher up. So we will actually mark the where it's tight now, take it down, try to grind out a bit of the tube. Okay, so finally the cutlass bearing has arrived and it's time to mount it. I've never mounted a cutlass bearing before, but the idea is to use this one to clean the tube, and then I have a piece of threaded rod that was cut off from the rods for the keel that I will try to push it in with. So last time when I tried to fit the cutlass bearing, I didn't really get all the way in. It was very difficult to get it in, basically. And also I noticed that we used one of these threaded rods to try to push it in, but it's starting to seize, and you can see a lot of like metal chips almost coming off of it, and it's it basically doesn't feel nice at all. And I thought these were supposed to be waxed, but maybe that's not enough to prevent it from seizing. So now we bought this some anti-seize paste. It's supposed to be the paste to use, and we tried with that one instead, and it's I mean, it runs way smoother, and this was also a good test for when we're gonna attach the threaded rods on the keel as well, because I mean, if one of the nuts would seize, then that would be catastrophe. So hopefully this paste will do the job, and also the bearing is in place now.
Woohoo!
So back to the keel. As some of the threaded rods were a bit tight to the holes in the keel, we decided to basically we didn't get the correct hole pattern for the threaded rods. So we decided to try to drill the holes up a bit, just to make sure we don't create any tension in the threaded rods when we get the keel fully up in place. As you see, we're marked here on this, which sides. Obviously they're just hitting in one side, and all these four are hitting the front here. Yeah, basically to fix that we will drill out the pipe to get some more clearance around the threaded rods for them to be able to fit perfectly. So all the holes are drilled. It turned out pretty okay, I would say.
So now we're halfway on the second attempt of attaching the keel after we made the holes bigger.
Just move the beams up here, and now we're just gonna weld them.
Closer than ever before.
Closing in. So cool. We're 20 millimeters away, but we're touching in some places where we need to take off some lead.
Now we are ready for another attempt.
Yeah, we have adjusted the shape a bit of these two blocks now, so hopefully they will fit.
So this is the furthest suck we have ever been.
It's good. We have some high spots in the back, but we already knew that. So we need to take down a bit here. I mean, we didn't get the top of the casting completely flat because we were kind of running out a bit of lead, and we also didn't really have the heat needed to keep the whole top floating at the same time, or molten at the same time. So, but I don't think that's the problem. I think we just need to take down a bit so we even out the gap here a bit.
It fits cool. Really good. Yeah, it really cool. Follows the shape of the original keel. That's cool. So now we have cut the threaded rods to sort of the right length, and we're trying on all the nuts to see that it works. And we have also tried to torque them, but not to the torque that we're gonna use later when we attach it for real. This is more like try out to see that it works smoothly, and then we're gonna take the keel down a bit again.
And this is, I mean, this trying is a lot due to that we've been very afraid of that anything's gonna seize here, because that would be a major disaster.
Yes. And we have tried with 6 so far. It has worked really well. So hope that it continues that way.
Yeah. And we also have to decide what torque we're actually gonna use. I mean, these are M24 threads, and we are using A470 material, and I think they're supposed to be torqued to like 470 something Newton meters. But we have actually grinded away a little bit in the top of the threads, just to make the fit better. I think we didn't really need to do that in the end, but we did that before we drilled up the holes. Yeah, that means that we should probably not really torque them to 470, maybe a little bit less. But I don't know how much less. And then also this depends a lot on the friction coefficient you get in the thread. And now we use this paste, which we don't really. I've tried to find out if there are any data for what friction coefficient you can expect when you use it, but I haven't really found anything. So yeah, I think we will do a little bit less than 470. But we haven't really decided how much yet. We'll see. Now we just torque them to 320.
Yeah.
And that seems, I mean, that's no problem at all. It runs really smooth. So.
And after we have tested this, we're gonna remove them again, lower the keel again once more, and then we're gonna attach it for real. And then it's gonna be stuck there.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yes, it's gonna be super exciting. It is flying! Nothing holding it up except the nuts. So now I have gone down again, hopefully for the last time. And now we're gonna prep the surfaces, both on the lead part and on the cast iron part of the keel. Now it is very soon go time for attaching the keel. So the plan is we're just gonna add a first layer of just epoxy with a brush to get a good bond for the epoxy filling, that we're then gonna put on the surfaces between the keels. Then we're gonna lift it up with the jacks and then attach the nuts. And we are right now adding some extra of this. We have added some extra of this magic paste on the threads so they won't seize. And try all the nuts one more time so we don't have anything dirt or excess lead or anything in them. And that's it, I think. Then we'll have our keel attached. is in place.
It feels amazing. Went really smooth as well.
Huh?
All according to plan.
It is flying on its own now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's standing on that jack.
I think this one should be loose.
Now it's flying.